I sat on the floor of my empty, freezing apartment, staring at a letter from the internet company, and I seriously took out my phone to look up one-way flights back home. I was completely done. I just wanted to go back to my country.
Wait, you actually looked up flights? I did the exact same thing my second month here, but I was sitting on the sidewalk outside a laundromat crying over a pile of wet clothes.
It is so real. That breaking point is something every single person who moves to a new country experiences. For me, it was my 3rd week. I had no furniture, I was sleeping on an air mattress, and my internet bill arrived. They had charged me $300 for a basic connection, so I had to call customer service.
Oh, the customer service phone lines. That is the ultimate test of English listening skills.
Exactly. I spent 45 minutes just talking to the robot. Press 1 for billing, press 2 for technical support. I kept shouting, "Operator, operator, human being." By the time a real person finally answered the phone, my heart was beating so fast.
I completely get that panic. When you finally hear a human voice, you forget every English word you have ever learned.
Yes, and this guy spoke so incredibly fast I thought he was another robot. He started talking about waiving the installation fee, prorated billing cycles, and premium bundles. My brain just completely shut down. I was so exhausted and so intimidated that I just started saying yes to everything. I just wanted the phone call to end.
Oh no. What did you end up agreeing to?
I ended up upgrading to a premium sports television package that I did not even want, and I still had to pay the $300. I hung up the phone, slid down the wall, sat on the floor, and just thought, why did I move across the world just to be defeated by a Wi-Fi router? I felt like a helpless child.
Defeated by a Wi-Fi router. That perfectly describes the international student experience. The small things feel like massive mountains. My laundry breakdown was exactly like that.
You have to tell me about the laundry breakdown. What happened?
I had never used a public laundromat before. I dragged 2 huge bags of clothes 4 blocks down the street. I finally got there, and all the machines only took quarters. I had a $20 bill. I tried to ask a guy reading a newspaper how to get coins, but I was so nervous I asked him where to buy metal money.
Metal money? That is very literal. Did he understand you?
He just stared at me. Eventually, I found the coin machine on my own. But then I put in the wrong kind of soap. I used regular dish soap instead of laundry detergent. 10 minutes later, bubbles were overflowing out of the machine and spreading across the floor. The owner started yelling at me. Everyone was staring, and I just grabbed my wet, soapy clothes, shoved them into my bags, and ran outside.
Oh, Emily, dragging wet clothes down the street is a nightmare.
It was terrible. I sat on the curb, completely covered in soap, and I genuinely thought, I cannot do this. I am going back home tomorrow. This is too hard. So what stopped you from actually buying that plane ticket on your phone?
My neighbour, actually. He walked past my open door and saw me sitting on the floor looking absolutely miserable. He asked what was wrong, and I just told him, I am at the end of my rope.
Wait, at the end of my rope. That is a really interesting phrase. I usually just say, my energy is 0, or I have no more patience left.
Yeah, at the end of my rope is a very common idiom. It means you have no more patience, no more energy, and you are completely frustrated. Imagine you are climbing a rope and you reach the very end. You have nowhere else to go.
That makes so much visual sense. At the end of my rope, I was definitely at the end of my rope sitting on that sidewalk with my bubbles. So what did your neighbor say?
He just laughed a little, patted my shoulder and said, "Hey man, hang in there. We have all been there." And then he actually took my phone, called the internet company back, and fixed my bill for me.
That is so incredibly kind of him. And wait, hang in there. I have seen that on those motivational posters with the little cat hanging from a tree branch. Do people actually say that in real life?
All the time. It is probably the best and most natural thing to say to someone who is struggling. Just hang in there. It means do not give up, keep trying, things will get better.
That is much better than what my textbook taught me. If I saw you crying on the floor, I probably would have said, "Please do not abandon your life goals. You must continue your journey."
That sounds like dialogue from an epic fantasy movie. Hang in there is much more casual, warm, and comforting.
I definitely need to remember that. You know, when I am having those terrible days, when someone speaks too fast on the phone and I feel like I am at the end of my rope, I never know how to ask them to pause. I always panic and say, "Wait 1 minute, my brain is confusing."
That is very honest, but maybe a bit too much information for a customer service representative. If you need someone to slow down or wait while you process what they just said, you can just say, "Can you bear with me for a second?"
Bear with me. Like the animal?
It is the same pronunciation as the animal, but spelled differently. It just means please be patient with me. Can you bear with me for a second? I use it all the time when I am looking for a document in my bag, or trying to find a file on my computer, or just trying to process English in my head.
Can you bear with me for a second? I really like that. It sounds polite, but it also clearly asks for space. What if I completely missed what they said? Like when that guy started talking about prorated billing cycles. Instead of saying, "I do not understand anything you are saying," can I say something else?
Definitely. Saying I do not understand makes the conversation hit a brick wall. It stops everything. Instead, you can say, "I did not quite catch that," or if it is a really complicated explanation, just say, "Sorry, you lost me there."
You lost me there. That is a great phrase. It implies that their explanation was confusing or too fast, not just that my English is bad.
Exactly. It shifts the blame slightly off of you. It makes the other person realize they need to explain it differently. Now, speaking of expressing our struggles, let us smooth out some of the things we say when we are feeling completely overwhelmed. What would you naturally say if a task at work or school is just way too difficult for you?
If I am translating directly from how I used to think, I would probably say, "This is an impossible mission. I'm quitting this immediately."
A bit aggressive, but understandable. A much more natural way to express that feeling of being overwhelmed without sounding like you are actually quitting is to say, "I am in over my head."
I am in over my head. Like the water is too deep and I cannot touch the bottom. That makes perfect sense. I was definitely in over my head trying to figure out American laundry machines.
We all are. I'm still in over my head when it comes to doing my taxes. And what if you are just totally finished with something and want to express that you are giving up on that specific task?
I would normally say, "I surrender."
That sounds like you are a soldier waving a white flag in a historical war movie. You can just say, "I am ready to throw in the towel."
Throw in the towel. Like a boxer giving up in a boxing match. I love how many sports and physical idioms are in English. I am ready to throw in the towel. I will definitely use that next time a vending machine steals my money.
That is the perfect time to use it. All right, let us put all of these new phrases into practice. We are going to do a real-life role play. You are calling a very fast, very unhelpful customer service representative. I will be the annoying guy on the phone. You are trying to cancel a subscription and you are getting frustrated, but you are going to handle it smoothly using what we just talked about.
Okay, I am ready. I am channeling all my past customer service trauma and my laundry disaster into this single phone call. Let us do it.
Ring, ring. Thank you for calling Global Tech Services. My name is Chad. Just to let you know, if you cancel your plan today, you will be subject to a retroactive termination fee of $50, plus the prorated amount for the current billing cycle, minus any applicable loyalty discounts. Do you wish to proceed with the cancellation?
Wow. Okay. Sorry, Chad. You completely lost me there. Can you bear with me for a second?
I said there is a termination fee, a prorated charge, and a loyalty discount adjustment.
Right. I did not quite catch the part about the retroactive fee. I am honestly in over my head with all these charges. I just want to cancel the basic service.
Well, ma'am, I can offer you a premium internet upgrade for only $20 more a month if you feel your current speed is not sufficient.
No, thank you. I am at the end of my rope with this internet service, and I am ready to throw in the towel. Please just cancel the account completely.
Okay, I have processed your cancellation. Have a nice day. End scene. Emily, that was fantastic. You stood your ground and you did not buy the premium upgrade like I did.
I stayed strong. Using bear with me and you lost me there really gave me the time I needed to think. Instead of just panicking and saying yes to everything, I could actually pause the conversation.
That is the big secret. It is not about knowing every single vocabulary word perfectly. It is about knowing how to pause the conversation, how to ask for clarification naturally, and how to do it without feeling embarrassed or apologizing for your English.
That is so true. Looking back at my laundry breakdown, I think I just felt so isolated. I thought I was the only person who did not know how to buy metal money or use the right soap. But knowing that everyone, even you, has had a moment where they wanted to buy a one-way ticket home makes it feel a lot more normal.
We all have that day. The day you almost give up is usually just the day before you actually figure things out. You just have to hang in there.
Hang in there. I will definitely keep that in my mind. Thanks for sharing your internet router trauma, Paul. It makes me feel much better about my own soapy disasters.
Any time, Emily. It is all part of the journey. And to everyone listening out there, if you are having one of those days where you feel in over your head, just hang in there. You are doing better than you think. We will catch you next time.